Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and I am purposely trying to stay away from the sanctuary today. It's Thursday, and after 26 years, I decided to start taking one day a week off, and I managed to do it about once every 2 months, but Thursday's my day. So I am here at home, right by the beautiful creek. I love this creek. And I wanted to do an update based on some news that I read yesterday, I think, about there being a warrant served on the guy who calls himself Doc, who I don't think has any kind of doctoring credentials, but you might know him as Bhagavan Antle. He does a cub petting scheme at Barefoot Landing and at, I think he calls it Preservation Station Safari or something like that in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I'm just going to say it right up front here. This is all my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But when he says that, well, the news reported that all of these police cars showed up to deliver warrants to him about 3 lion cubs that he had gotten from Wilson's Wildlife Safari in Virginia. That place was so horrific that it was actually shut down, and you have to be like the worst of the worst to have USDA take any action against you. And for them to shut the place down and place all the animals was really amazing. And apparently the 3 lion cubs that Antle's using came from that facility. And so Antle's saying, well, the warrants were just because they were looking into the Virginia facility and they wanted to do DNA testing to see if these were the cats and if there's anything that we can tell them about it. And that just doesn't ring true to me, because they don't need DNA samples to do that. If he's saying, yeah, that's where I got the cats, then that's all he needs to say to help them with their case against the people in Virginia. So I really think there is a lot more going on behind the scenes, and I hope that finally somebody is looking into this guy, because I think he is one of the most prolific breeders of cubs for the pay-to-play industry, and it seems like an awful lot of cats just disappear from there. So if you know him, and you've ever had a picture taken with a cub, I would hope that you would take those photos that you have, send them to the authorities, and ask them, where is this cat today? Where did that cat go? And make somebody accountable for where all of those cubs went, because I don't think they're showing up on his census. For somebody that's always got 10 to 12 cubs, and yet every year his census only goes up by a couple of cats, that doesn't ring true. And it's hard for me to believe that there's enough places for him to dump those cats legally around the country. So I think something horrible is happening there. And I think if everybody got together who has ever taken a picture with a cub there, if they were to send that to USDA and US Fish and Wildlife Service, and the addresses for those are over at our site at 911animalabuse.com. If you just search that site for USDA and US Fish and Wildlife Service, you can get where to send your photos to, and tell them when those photos were taken, and if you knew the animal's name at the time, if there was any talk about who the animal's parents were, and ask them, where's this cub today? That's what I want everybody to do for all of those cubs who paid with their lives for those once-in-a-lifetime moments. So I apologize for not wearing any makeup, for barely brushing my hair, but this is just too important not to talk about today. So please take some action for those cubs. And if you never had your picture made with cubs, thank you. Thank you so much. And please make your call to Congress at bigcatact.com, which would ban these cub petting displays, and it'll just stop the abuse. So thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye-bye.